we're back. Let's see if we can't get some people to have a conversation now. Because that first guy really just fucked it all up for all of us, huh? With his weird shenanigans and tomfoolery. Swayze, I see you. If you come out of pocket again, you're just going to get muted. Just heads up. I don't know if you were the Swayze who was being cray-cray before, but if you are... I'm watching you. Why does my hair always do this? It always gets a curl right here. No matter how much I try to straighten it. It just doesn't cooperate. Welcome in. Tap the screen and share the live. If you are on YouTube, make sure that you are interacting with the chat. You can send likes. They're obsessed with my jaw. Like, why are you guys obsessed with my jawline? Like, I have a neck that my head sits upon, and there's a difference between where my head is and where my neck begins, like where my head ends and my neck begins. I'm skinny. That's why you can see my jaw. Like, y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Anybody who has a jaw must be trans? Like, what? Happy Pride. Happy Pride to you, Mikey. It's so weird. It really is weird. YouTube is obsessed with that. I think I'm going to start doing this on Lonely Lambs instead of doing it over here. The crowd is so much better. I'm not talking about you, TikTok. You left the Republican Party because of Trump. Good for you, Drew. YouTube really is a whole nother animal. Whole nother animal. I'm having heart problems today because I feel really out of breath from doing nothing. So it's going to be a day. They're used to loving Trump's jowls. Right, Static. Exactly that. Because we have to support something, Champas. We can't just be apolitical, especially in today's day and age. Little fruity cake. That's cute. That's cute. In today's day and age, we don't have the luxury to be indifferent. Everybody, regardless of political parties, should have access to abortion care. I don't know if you understand this or not, Bruce, but people, regardless of political party, get abortions. Yeah, you know what he means, though, rumor has it. That's exactly what he's talking about. Do I like chicken? Yeah. It's my headphones. They're right here. I got them for free. This company, Lit Me, they sent them to me for free, and I've been using them. They're actually pretty good. I do like chicken. That's a weird question, Wally. Good morning, Delco. Nice to see you. Correct, Mikey. No, you're fine, Alexander. I mean, you could use them. If your phone has transparency mode, you could use them that way. And they do help pick up sound. I mean, I wouldn't think that they'd be like that effective if you don't have your phone around you, but yeah, you could definitely use them to help with hearing. That's really funny, Goodman. What's my favorite way to eat chicken? Fried. Everything's better fried. Do you disagree, Sunny Doodle? I love fried food. Do I eat it that often? No, I try not to. It's not good for you. It's not good for you with all the trans fats. No, you may not. You're a man of science. Why are we not getting any ops? Where the fuck are the ops at? Where are y'all hiding? Well, also, why is my camera like slowly drifting up to my head, to the ceiling? I feel like that's a little bit, look, there it goes. There it goes. It's as tight as it'll go. I don't know why it keeps fucking turning. I think it's the way this cable is positioned that it's pulling it. I want to try using one of my other cameras. I got a really cool action cam the other day. Can we add a live link, I wonder? I don't think I can. Live incentive program? What is this? No. I guess because I don't have shop turned on. I can't do it. But I got this. It's by Extra. It is the Extra Edge Pro. It takes amazing picture and video. I should use it to make my next videos to show it to you guys. But this camera is fucking awesome. It has a front viewfinder and a back viewfinder. You don't have to. I bought this case. It doesn't come with the case. It comes with like a little cage for it, and then the static mount. I got this case with the handle. Additional. I think it was like 40 bucks or 50 bucks, something like that. But the camera is a little cute guy. I'll show you. If I could get it to turn on. I think my daughter might have made the battery die because she's been having fun vlogging. There we go. But if you look at it, you can see yourself in the front of the camera, or you can use the back of the camera, either way. And it takes beautiful quality video. Beautiful. The image stabilization is and it's less than $300. I think if you get it when it's on live stream, you can find one of the streamers who sells it. Because there's a couple that work with the company Extra, XTRA. And you can get it for like $230. So it's actually a good price. It's the Extra Edge Pro. It does amazing stuff. I'm really happy with it thus far. What's up, Derek? Avocado oil is mad expensive. Talking to himself about Trump? Who's talking to themselves about Trump? Ew, Casey Anthony lived behind you? I'm sorry. She's a piece of shit. Y'all are weird for saying stuff like that. Thank you, Chris. She's there. I'm reading the comments over on YouTube. Oh, not somebody else threatening domestic violence against a woman. Like, you guys. I think we're just not going to have a stream today, is what I'm thinking. I go take a nap. I have to go get my wax appointment at noon, and then I'm going straight to work. That is on my agenda for today. Wax appointment and work. I figured I was going to hang out with you guys and have some conversations this morning, but it looks like nobody wants to have conversations, which sucks. Ugh. But anyway, we'll just keep talking about this camera. So the camera is made by Extra. They also have another version, another camera that they came out with called the Muse. So if you have wanted to get an Osmo Pocket 3 and it's just out of your price range, Extra's camera Muse, when they flash sale it on live stream, is like $350. And it does the same thing. Now, what my recommendation to you would be not to get the Osmo. Unless you're like a serious vlogger or somebody who's like really into filming, I wouldn't get it because the settings, it's hard with the settings, and unless you know how to color grade, like it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So my recommendation when people say they want to get the Osmo is always like, don't get something like this that you get more use out of, that's more versatile, and easier to use. Like this, the only thing I had to do was turn off the fisheye and change it to 4K and 30 frames per second, and that's it. My Osmo, I still don't know how to fucking use it. This is a HyperX Quadcast 4. I need to get a new mic, to be honest. I'm not trans. You'll talk to me? I am on Discord. You can find me on Discord. It's Amanda Informed, but that doesn't mean I'll answer you because some of y'all are weird. I don't have a masculine jawline, you guys. I just am not overweight with a double chin. Like, I don't have a masculine jawline. It's so weird to say that.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Let me ask you something. Why do you care what
How are you?
I'm well? Why do you care who I support? Why is that important to you? I find that Democrats take great offense when a Republican says they support Republicans, and Republicans don't give a shit what you support. So why is it so important how I feel or how I vote? Why is that important to you? Why do
Because I
you?
like
Why do
to,
you? Yeah.
because I like to understand people's thought processes and what
Oh,
it
fair
is
enough. Okay.
that brings
Yeah,
them to
I'm
the
a
decisions that
Republican
they make. Okay, so why do you support the Republicans?
because I like their foreign policy. I like their border policy. Someone says because my vote is harming people. My vote did not harm you, champ. Kamala Harris was a empty jacket. The border was a
Her name is
problem.
Kamala. Her name is
Yeah,
Kamala. Let's
Camel.
not just
It's
let's not
it's yeah, Camel Harris. Don't worry,
sir,
she's not offended by
sir,
it. Don't worry. If she's
sir,
not offended, you shouldn't be
sir.
offended.
Don't be an
Yes.
asshole. There's no
Okay.
reason for
If
you to be
she's
an
not
asshole. We can
offended, you
have a
shouldn't be offended.
conversation. Stop. We can have conversations
Absolutely. But if
as
she's not
adults.
offended, you don't need to be offended. It's okay.
I'm going to send you a mute because I want
Camel
to speak fully
Harris,
with God.
I don't like Democrats who
Stop.
lie about gay,
Stop.
trans.
Stop.
You
We
keep
need to
muting me.
level set. Yes,
You
I'm
want me to
going to
leave?
keep muting you because you're going to keep talking over me. Please stop talking over me. We can have a conversation. I would love to talk to you about your viewpoints. I would love for you to be heard. However, let's not be disrespectful. Let's act like adults,
I have no
okay? There's
respect
no
for
reason
her.
to do that. But there's no reason to do that. You're an adult. Act like one. So let me, you know what? Let me ask you something a little bit different. Is there anything about the Republican Party that you are you using the toilet right now?
Wait, you broke up there. Can you say that again, please?
I said, is there anything about the Republicans that you don't support?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, what are some things that they've done that you're just like, nah, that's not cool.
I can't think of anything, but I'm sure there is something I don't support. What I don't support is telling a guy he's a chick and a chick that he's a guy and then getting all pissed off when I disagree with you. What I don't support is men competing in women's sports. I don't support a dude taking a dump next to my 9-year-old daughter in a bathroom and everyone's saying that I'm the problem because I don't like that. I don't like that either. I don't like illegal aliens flooding into
You
this
can bring your
country. That
daughter
I
into
have a
the
problem
bathroom
with.
with you. You know that, right?
What's that?
You can bring your 9-year-old daughter into the restroom with you, or you can, keep an eye on
No,
your daughter.
a 9-year-old daughter is she's old enough to go into the bathroom by herself. No, I'm not going to be taking her in going in with her, or bringing in with me. Well, no,
If you're
more.
so
No, I'm not
abusive,
going to be.
then why are you not caring
Well,
about your child being in danger?
I am, but there's a certain safety aspect that should be assumed in a bathroom. I should not expect a guy who's thinking he's a chick to walk into a girl's bathroom. So this is what I'm talking about. So you turn
As
it on me to
somebody,
make me the bad person.
I'm not making you the bad person. I'm
What
just
it
saying
is,
if
it
there's
is. This
something.
is typical.
I'm
Okay.
not. But if you're concerned about your daughter's safety, then you should be keeping an eye on your daughter.
I do. I stand outside the door. She should be safe in there. But that's what you are doing. Is you're saying that.
And I can tell you as a woman, as somebody who has used the women's
Well, let me ask
restroom
you
my
something.
entire
Do you?
life.
Yeah.
I'm speaking. I'm in the middle of a fucking sentence.
Go ahead,
Please
honey. Go
stop
ahead.
doing that.
All right,
I've
sweetie.
never, ever, ever had an issue with a trans person in a bathroom.
Perfect.
Only
Good for
people
you.
that I've had issues with who have tried to and have done sexual things to me against my will are cis men.
That's great. I don't really care about that. The bottom line is that I don't want a
And
dude
other women will
who's
tell you the
mentally
same
off.
thing.
Honey pie. My point is that I don't want a
Please
dude
stop
who
doing
thinks he's a
that. I'm
chick.
not your honey pie, your sweetheart, none of that shit. My name is
All
Amanda.
right,
You can call me Amanda.
all right, sweetie.
Okay, fuck off. You're not going to be condescending to me, you little fucking chud. Everything I say is triggering this guy.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. First of all, can I get your pronouns?
Any pronouns
Wait,
are fine. I don't care.
So I can call you like it.
Doesn't matter to
Okay,
me.
it. Okay, it.
I
Yeah.
bet
So
that's where you were going with it.
I mean, yeah, that's why we don't support like liberals on the left side because you guys are just
How old are you?
the most. I'm 22. I'm a grown man,
What
alpha
year
male
were
by
you born?
2003, July 15th. My birthday is coming up soon. But
Oh, I wish it wouldn't.
what? So you're wishing
What
dead on me? You want me to die?
I didn't say that.
Typical leftist. See.
I didn't say that.
Calm down, honeypot.
What state do you live in?
Florida. I live in Fort
What
Lauderdale,
time is it
Diana
in
Beach.
Florida?
It is 9:26.
Okay.
What, you trying to dox me?
No, I just want to make sure that you actually are calling from where you're joining from where you say you're joining from.
Yeah, all the way in Florida, man. We love it down here, man.
It's not all the way.
but-
I also live in Florida.
Oh. Which part of Florida you live in?
Orlando.
Orlando. I love Orlando.
So why is it that you still support the Republicans? And if you talk about genitals, I'm not interested. So talk about something.
Genitals? Who's talking about genitals? Are you obsessed with genitals?
No, y'all are
Who's y'all?
Republicans.
We're not obsessed with genitals.
Every single Republican that I've talked.
You guys are just scared of the biology. You're scared of the biology
You don't
because
understand biology.
it fluctuates. I do understand biology, by the way.
I don't think so.
I understand it more than
What
you.
is
That's
an
why.
immutable characteristic of a woman?
That's why. An immutable characteristic of a woman, I would say. You mean like what she can't change?
You don't know what immutable means?
Yeah, that means you can't change. I'm saying. I wouldn't. I would say.
Go Google the word immutable. I'll wait for you.
I would,
because I'm not gonna.
Yeah, immutable means it can't change. Immutable means you can't change. Yes, that's literally what it means. Sex is immutable. You can't change sex. That's why you Republicans are. I'm not Republic. Sorry, left. Nigger.
Literally purple. They're all the same. They're all the same. You know what else is in the kitchen, Sandman? Fucking knives. You want me to go to the kitchen, Sandman? There's a lot of fucking weapons in the kitchen. Careful what you wish for, bitch. Teach you more about the death penalty? There's really not anything to teach. It's inhumane. You don't see the request tab up? It's up there. That's how other people get up here. Oh, what's the matter, Sandman? You know what? I'm not a liberal. And also, I think that you shouldn't have the ability to talk here anymore. That's what I feel. And I'm going to make sure that that happens. Because you've been violent. You've wished harm against me. You are just annoying as fuck. And so now you're in timeout. Now you can't talk. Do you want to come up here? It's because I have the gain down on my mic. You should be able to hear better now. Lily, no, they don't. Republicans don't have common sense. Hey, what's up, Dadbod? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you, Amanda?
I'm fine, thanks. We got RFK here as well.
That wasn't even
But
a good Kermit the Frog. Like, that wasn't even a good MAGA Kermit. Like, you can't even do a good MAGA Kermit. Oh, Kermit, is that a man that... Quiet, Piggy. Anyway.
Oh, boy. Oh, here is backup? What are you talking about, J-Ro? I mean, I know RF kidding me, but I don't know who Dadbot is. So what are you talking about backup? I don't know. Dadbot, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Hey, so I literally just came in on the tail end of the whole immutable thing. And I mean, the guy he was right based on the definition. Immutable means unchangeable characteristics. But I don't know specifically what you guys were referencing. I just heard that one thing and I was like, yeah, but I've actually been on your panel before. I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that used to be on Instagram all the time with a jacked up truck, Republican guy from Florida, black guy.
Yeah, Joel Patrick.
And Joel got really mad at me. I mean, I'm a Republican, but he just wasn't making any sense. And what he was saying was just kind of way out of touch from reality. But you know, I typically, the person that just said something about Santana, they probably were referencing me because Santana, I usually get on his lives in the morning time and we have, you know, conversations, but Santana decided to, long story short, basically he banned me until July 1st because he said that I'm too monotoned, I'm boring, I'm not confrontational enough, I'm not inflammatory, and it doesn't really help his life. So I just like to have conversations. It doesn't have to be confrontational, but I do like to at least have nuance and context when we're, you know, talking about a specific topic. But as far as Republicans, just to address what you were saying, why do you still support the Republicans? I would say for me personally, I think both parties are fundamentally flawed. Unfortunately, we only have a two-party system here. I mean, we libertarians don't really have enough to really consider really to be a party vote wise. But that said, I would say I support the Republican Party still over the Democrat Party. But there are elements of the Democrat Party that I support too, like universal health care is a talking point that I think it's not necessarily a bad idea because our healthcare system's flawed. But there are still things that there's just a bunch of different things. I kind of go back and forth between both parties. I mean, I look at it from both parties have, again, their valid talking points and their valid policies.
So when you get to the ballot box, you still vote Republican though, yeah?
No, not necessarily. Sometimes I actually, if I don't like the candidate, I actually vote myself in. Here in Virginia, you can do that. I don't know how that is state by state, but like our last gubernatorial. Yeah, our last gubernatorial election, when it came down to voting for Spamberger or Winsome Sears, you know, I voted Winsome Sears, but when it came down to the Attorney General, John Reed, I did not vote in. I voted myself in just because he wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of his.
I'll text Santana, guys.
Core values, personal core values.
Service. You lost service. You said you wrote yourself in something core values.
Oh, sorry about that. No, what I was saying is I base my votes based on core values, and then when it comes to the presidential nomination, I don't really vote for the person. I just look at the president as an avatar. I vote for what the party is promulgating at that time as far as messaging, and if I'm more aligned, you know, politically as well as core values, then that's typically what I vote for.
Okay. So you don't necessarily support the Republicans. Do you vote for a Democrat if they align more with you?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would. I mean, I can't say I wouldn't because that would be hypocritical of me to say. So yeah, for sure.
Well, what is it about Republican candidates that earns your vote?
Well, and let's just say for this last election, you know, here in Virginia with the gubernatorial election, I didn't vote for Spamberger because I followed Spamberger relatively close over the last few years, especially when she ran up against Nick Freitas, who Nick is more so a libertarian. And I've seen her policy, or I've seen her not her policies that she's actually implemented, but policies that she's spoken out that she wanted to implement, and I've seen how she's kind of flip-flopped quite a bit. And I'm not a fan of that. Like, I want transparency. Unfortunately, I know obviously most politicians are not transparent, or at least some go in with good intentions and they end up not following through. So I don't hold them up on a pedestal like they're perfect, but just based off of what she had promulgated over the last 3-4 years, I didn't like where she was heading, and she was, saying things that sounded really nice on paper. Like on paper, it would have been great, but then in reality, she was promoting, something totally different than what she did 2 years ago. And so I'm not a fan of that per se. With the presidential nomination from this last election with Trump and Kamala, I didn't vote specifically for Trump because, again, I just looked at them as an avatar. I didn't vote for Trump either back in during his first term either. But I didn't vote for Kamala. I voted for the Republican Party only because of what messaging was being promulgated at that time that I felt like I was more aligned with.
Okay, so what messaging was that you felt that you were more aligned with? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
What is
so
it that you support
so one of the
about
things
Republicans?
So one of the things that the Republican Party specifically was really pushing, and this is all divisive rhetoric. I get it. Like, I mean, there's narratives that come out of both sides, but one of the big narratives that was being pushed was, not having men in women's sports. I've got 2 daughters. I've seen some instances where, boys have played against girls in wrestling and in soccer and in basketball. And it's really tough for the girls to compete against that. And one of the things, I forget which executive order it was, or which House bill it was, but it was talking about, and this actually references what that last guy was talking about as far as characterizing sex as being immutable. But that specifically tied into having, high school boys play in girls sports. That was something that I was more so on board with.
I played soccer until I was like 15 years old, and I still gave
That's
the
awesome.
boys a run for their money. Like, there's nothing that is going on with trans children that is harming cisgender children. Nothing. So you made a vote based off of less than 1% of 1% of the population, because trans people are less than 1% of the population, and then kids in sports is even less than that. Like, do you understand? Like, you're part of the reason that we're dealing with this new fucking war, what's going on at Delaney right now. Like, all of these things, like, you've contributed to it simply because of this, for lack of a better term, and y'all let me know if there's something else that I should be saying, but for a boogeyman that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that too. I think that one of the most divisive, at least rhetoric that was coming out of the Republican Party at the time, was Riley Gaines versus William Thomas or Leah Thomas. And I looked at that story specifically.
Don't dead name somebody, because that's disrespectful on purpose, and you know that.
Okay. So I looked at that and I said, how is that fair to a girl who something like that be stripped from her? Because someone who is physically bigger, stronger, and more capable, that to me was one of the messaging that I looked at, and I was like, hey, you know what? I get it.
But that's purely out of a place of ignorance, and that's okay. But as long as you're learning. So when you go on HRT, your body changes dramatically. Your muscle mass, your bone density, all of those things change. So when you're a trans person and you transition, your body composition is not the same. Like, a trans woman does not have the same body composition as a man.
So when a man is already developed,
and Riley Gaines
has gone through puberty,
it's your muscle mass and your bone density still change.
So even after a pubescent stage and the man is developed and then they decide to go on HRT, you're saying that essentially digress or not, it reverses the growth?
It changes. Your muscle mass changes, your ability to gain muscle, it changes, your bone density changes, all of that changes.
I've not had, I can't talk about that because I don't know enough about that topic. I've never heard that before. The only thing that I was aware of was once essentially, you know, if you're prepubescent and you go on like hormone blockers and things like that, obviously that impacts the physical anatomy of the individual. But I never heard that it could potentially impact someone who's already gone through puberty.
It does. That's why the growth of breast tissue occurs. Like all of these, the ability to grow facial hair at the same rate changes. Like all of those things change. Everything.
That's interesting.
Changes.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Things that can't
it's
change,
still
your foot size, your height, the size of your hands, those things can't change. If you've already gained certain characteristics that are of a man, like, you know, the way that your brow bone is, the way that your jawline is shaped, those things don't change, but those don't have an impact on whether or not you are physically stronger or more quote unquote capable of a physical task than a cis woman.
Okay. So what would you consider, so as far as Thomas is concerned versus Riley, Thomas had not fully transitioned. I know that Thomas was basically on hormones, but as far as the transition, Thomas is bigger, taller, has a huge advantage in my opinion over Riley, just
Riley
from a
Gaines
physical.
Already sucked. Riley Gaines was already losing to cis women. Like Riley Gaines is just something that they gave.
Yeah, but if you look at
have
Thomas's
outrage
record,
over.
when Thomas was competing in the men's league versus Thomas competing in the women's league, Thomas's record was terrible too.
And still was not great after transitioning and competing in sports. Like I don't.
Amanda,
You based your vote over like. Hold on one second. I'll let you go. But you based your vote off of something that really was a non-issue. Again, you're talking about less than 1% of 1% of the population.
Right, but I think that's where I did base my vote on. Like, I look at it from a perspective of an outlier situation because, yeah, Thomas, but there was also the other individual that was boxing, and their testosterone, their TRT levels were higher.
I have high testosterone levels too. Does that make me less of a woman? I have high testosterone because I have androgen insensitivity syndrome.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that at all, but I would say that it probably could give you an advantage physically. If you have higher TRT, you probably have a physical or at least stamina advantage of some sort. If I had to take a stab at it, but I don't know.
I'm just mediocre. Just a mediocre athlete. As a matter of fact, I'm not even an athlete, but
you're good enough to play co-ed with boys. Just saying. But no,
I chose to play co-ed with boys. I wasn't great. I got my ass handed to me, and there were boys that I handed their ass to them.
I gotcha.
There were plenty of boys that were faster than me.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I would be on board with that. One of the other things, and this one I think was kind of like the final nail in the coffin, was locally here in Virginia. You probably heard about it already, but it was let's see, it wasn't Crozet. Where was it? Loudoun County. It was in Loudoun County, Virginia, and a individual who was identifying.
You keep losing service. I'm
female
gonna
restroom and ended up. I can't say the words because I'm sorry.
I can't. You keep cutting out. You said something about Loudoun County, Virginia.
Oh yeah. So Loudoun County, Virginia. Hold on. Let me change. Okay, sorry. I've got it on data switching, and that's why it's probably cutting out. In Loudoun County, Virginia, there was an individual that was identifying as trans who ended up going into a female restroom and let's see, TikTok friendly, graped a girl. The public school system at the time did not tell the parents. They ended up expelling the boy, but they didn't. I guess based off of the VDOE, Virginia Department of Education, I guess they don't have to technically inform the parents of something like that happening if the girl does not tell them. I don't know the logistics behind it, but that was one of the major stories.
Trans has nothing to do with that. I want you to understand
that. Well, here's the thing.
Shitty people exist regardless. No, I'm speaking now. You've been fucking running your mouth for a whole bunch. Just be quiet for a moment. Being trans has nothing to do with that. There are shitty people regardless of whether they're cis or trans. And if we want to talk about shitty people, we'd have to talk about cis men. Cis men are the ones who consistently commit these crimes against people. Do I think it's wrong that they didn't inform the parents? Absolutely Abso-fucking-lutely they should have fucking told the parents. That child needs therapy, that child needs access to resources, and they robbed them of that opportunity. But the person who did that to them, being trans, is irrelevant.
Right, and I agree with you on
I
that too.
know.
What I'm saying is that person, that individual who identified as trans, ended up getting expelled from the school, went to another school in a different district, and did the same thing again. And then it made court. It made
So it
made
has nothing
national
to do with
news.
the person being trans. It has
But
everything to do with them being
let
a
me
sexual
land the
predator,
plane.
them being
The,
trans.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. But the problem is that people will take advantage of that and say that they're trans in order to do those types of things. And that's where I take issue, because you don't know if someone's a sexual predator or not.
People don't need to say that they're trans in order to do those things. Okay?
But he did, so he could get into female restrooms.
Mouth. I'm talking. I have not interrupted you. When it's your turn, you talk. When it's my turn, I talk. Being trans has nothing to do with that. All that is doing is showing that somebody is a fucking predator and they're taking advantage of a marginalized community in order to harm other people. This has nothing to do with trans people and everything to do with shitty ass people.
I would agree with you.
YXX is going to talk now. They would like to add something to the conversation. YXX, please go ahead.
Thank you. So, Dad Bod, it's really interesting. So, Leah Thomas in her 500 relay or 500 freestyle race, her time was 4 minutes 33 seconds, 33 and then 0.24. And then Emma Wyant's time was 4:34.99. So Leah Thomas won by 1.75 seconds. So you having this interpretation that trans individuals win by astronomical time amounts because of their bone density or whatever the hell you said is super, super bigoted and uninformed. And then on top of that, Leah Thomas also came in 5th and 8th in her other races. I believe it was a 200 and 100. So a 100, by the way, you need to be extremely fast. And Leah placed 8th. So it's like you are coming from places that are uninformed, uneducated, and just from pure bigotry. Another point that I want to make with you is, again, this was a 1% issue, which is not even an issue because science disagrees with you wholeheartedly. But it's intriguing because you say that you did this for your daughter, yet you found it upon yourself. You were so encouraged to vote for an SAer. So what you just told me and what you just demonstrated for the entire live and the host here, you just demonstrated that you prioritize the mental health of your child in a sport rather than the pure safety of your child out in public. You do realize we have an SA issue in this country. Men lead in SA in this country by 92.7% out of the 100% of SAs that are reported and convicted and found guilty. And 98% of the population of men that do it are doing it onto women and children. So mind you, you were comfortable enough voting for an SAer, and this SAer that's in office is relaying a message to the public that, hey, even if you SA people, you can still become president. So I find it I'm going to wrap this up. I find it very intriguing that you speak about a very minute topic in our society that's even an issue, which I don't think it is. Because you're so offended of it even remotely kind of affecting your daughter in a sport, mind you, but you're not worried about her safety and the message you're giving your daughter by voting for an SAer. And that I land. Thank you.
Sure. So I'll respond. That is my primary concern, is literally because of SAers, because people are taking advantage of saying that they are trans in order to fulfill their predatory responses to individuals. Now, first and foremost. Secondly, as far as voting for Trump, I didn't vote for Trump the first time. I already said that. And then secondly, maybe you came in late.
Voted for him this
but when
time.
I was talking to Amanda, I vote for a party, not for a person.
So did you vote for Trump in this last election, yes or no?
Yes, because I was voting for the Republican Party. He was the primary candidate. That's the only option I had.
You said you vote for people, not the party. And now you're saying you vote for the party, not the person.
Yeah, I vote for the party. I don't vote for... I said that the president is an avatar of the party, in my opinion.
So why not just write yourself in? Why vote for him if if we know that
Well,
he
a non
sexually assaults people? Why would you vote for him anyway? Like your
a
biggest
a
premise is
non-vote.
that trans people. Your biggest premise is that trans people are something that is a cause for concern because they're sexually assaulting girls in bathrooms. But then
No,
you
no, no,
voted
no.
for
That's not what I
somebody
said.
who.
No, 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 no. I did not say that.
I mean, you
That's
did
you're
say
taking it
that.
out of context. I said
I'm
people
not.
are taking advantage of the trans term in order to fulfill their predatory responses towards or
But
upon
you
other
voted
people.
for a predator. You voted for somebody who has consistently said over and over and over again that they forcibly touch women, that they walk into women's spaces when they're undressed, that they. What were his words? If when you're a star, you can do it.
Yeah, they'll
When he was
just
on
let
the
you.
Howard Stern show,
They'll just let you.
But not even just in the Howard Stern show. He said that in a deposition.
That is correct.
Like, so you voted
did
for
he
somebody
say-
who said that they take advantage of women and women's spaces. You voted for that. And then you're saying that the
Well, no,
reason
I
why
didn't.
you
I
voted for
voted-
that is because people take advantage of being trans or use being trans as a way to gain access to spaces when this guy just fucking does it.
but
Like, you
what you're
voted for a
doing there,
predator.
what you're doing
Telling
there is
you
you're
the truth.
conflating two different things.
I'm not.
You're
No, I'm
conflating
not. How are they? What is
Yes,
the
you are.
symmetry breaker?
because Trump is not the entirety of the Republican Party as far as the ideology.
You voted for him.
He's just a person.
Okay, hold on a second. Chat. Did he or did he not say that he votes for people, not the party, and that if he doesn't like the candidate, he writes himself in? Did he not say that?
Locally, yes, I said that locally.
No,
I
you
literally,
didn't.
I literally specified locally in the Virginia election. I voted for myself because I didn't vote for the person's belief locally, but from a
didn't say-
So
presidential
you
you didn't say
voted
standpoint.
locally.
for Trump and Trump's beliefs when he's a rapist.
But I already specified for the president. I look at them as an
Why did you
avatar
just
for the
not
party.
vote?
That's it.
Why did you? But you had the opportunity to just not vote.
I didn't vote in 2016, Amanda, and then I found out.
Okay, I
you know
don't care
what?
about 2016. I'm
Guess-
talking about the current administration. You voted for
Right.
this.
I found out a
after
non-vote
knowing
still
all of
technically
this.
is a vote. But a
So-
non-vote
but
still
it would've
technically
been
a vote.
But then you would have been able to stand on principle and say that I didn't vote because I identify as a Republican or I'm more aligned with Republicans or I'm an independent or whatever the case may be. And I couldn't vote for Donald Trump because of the things that he did. But I also couldn't vote for Kamala Harris because of whatever reason, right?
But if I didn't vote, I wouldn't-
You could have stood on principle and you chose not to.
If I didn't vote, then I would have no reason to even be up on this panel because I have no say in the matter because I was not involved.
Can I ask them
That's
something?
the whole purpose.
All you've done is told us that you support rapists, unless they're trans and then they're not okay. That's all you've done.
According to you, but no, what I said is I support a party. I don't support a person when it comes
Okay.
to the president.
All right, enough. Dad bod. Okay, let me ask you this. How old is your daughter?
Daughters, plural, but
Oh, wow. Okay, daughters. How old are your daughters?
9 and 8.
9 and 8. When your daughters become adults, are you going to be able to look them, like if you were forced to, would you be able to look them in their eyes as adults and say, I want to protect you as a father and make sure that you don't get SA'd because I know statistically there's a high probability of that. And by doing that, I voted for an SA'er. Would you be able to look at your daughters and say that?
I mean, that's a hypothetical.
I know that's exactly
No,
what I prefaced it with. Yes, correct.
I don't think that's a topic that would ever even occur in our household.
I'm not
because
asking you
they're
if
not,
it occurred.
Yeah, so I would say based on the information and based on the allegations and then also the results that as far as court results are concerned with Trump, if we're going to reference E. Jean Carroll, for example, then I would say let's go back to the actual court case and the actual civil case.
Can you answer yes or no?
Just a yes or no.
Well, because
question.
I don't know the entirety of of what happened in that case other than it was a civil suit and he was held liable for something.
Stop talking. Here, how about this?
Oh,
how about
okay.
this? We're gonna do something super definitive that you cannot back away of. Can I say the P word, Amanda, on your live?
I don't care. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, great. Perfect. Dad bod, would you be able to say, look at your daughters when they're adults and say, I voted for a man that said he grabs women by the pussy?
No, that's
Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
win that debate.
Right. So would you be able to look at your daughters without feeling guilty, right? And with your full chest say, I voted for a man that talked about women and say he grabs women by the pussy. Would you be able to look at your daughters in the face and say that without feeling any ickiness in your body?
No, of course not. But then
Of course not.
I know my
So then
daughters
why
would look at it and
stop
say,
talking
well, is
now.
he still a bad
It's an
man?
of course not.
It's
No,
a yes
stop
or no
talking.
question.
Right. So the fact that you said of course not, the fact that that would make you
Getting
feel really
steel man.
fucking gross, you should have considered that the moment you voted. Because by the way, when you vote, you are setting a precedent and an example as a man and as a father for your fucking daughters. Who you vote for is a reflection of how your mind works. And if you think this is deplorable activities, if you think this is a deplorable character and disgusting rhetoric, you would not have fucking voted for it, especially as a father to daughters.
Correct.
But I was also not aware of all of the allegations against Trump when I voted.
Whatever. I'm going to drop.
Again.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again,
Tropos,
this
what
is
did
why I
you
said,
wanted
to me,
but there's no way you weren't aware. There's no way you weren't aware.
Avatar.
It was in the news cycles. You
was
were
everywhere.
very much aware of everything that was going on. It was front page news over and over and over again about E. Jean Carroll, about Howard Stern, about all that stuff. And from what I'm seeing in my text messages, you've been in these debate spaces prior to the election, so you heard about it.
Well, most of the news that occurred with Trump,
Were you in
specifically
debate
the
spaces prior
allegations
to the
against
election? Were you in debate spaces prior to the election? Yes or no?
a little bit, but not much. Mainly only
So
with
Adam
like Adam Cray.
told you about it. So Adam told you about it. And you chose not to do any research. You chose to go, no, still gonna vote for the guy. You chose that.
Yep.
Well, no, I didn't. Again, I looked at him and I said, that's not the entirety of the party. I'm aligned. I vote based
It
on what
doesn't
the
matter.
party
You
is
voted
promulgating.
for. It doesn't matter. You voted for somebody.
But he has nothing to do with the
committed the crime.
But that's my.
He absolutely does, and you could have chose to abstain
No, he
from
doesn't.
voting.
Not to me, he doesn't.
Who did
Not
you
to
vote
me, he
for in the
doesn't.
primary?
To me, he's
Who did you vote for in the primary? The presidential primary.
DeSantis.
Oh, jeez Louise.
DeSantis.
So do you look up policy at all when you vote, or do you just go
No.
off of
He doesn't.
who sounds
I
good?
voted DeSantis because I was looking at the economy in Florida and I was looking at what he did during
Yeah,
COVID in
it's
Florida.
fucking
And I thought that he
terrible.
made good choices.
So it's fucking terrible. You absolutely did no research whatsoever. You just filled a bubble next to R.
Yeah.
DeSantis is an
and also-
absolute deplorable human being. Go ahead, Atropos. I'm
Real.
sorry.
What has he done
No,
that's
you're
terrible?
fine. Well, hold that thought for one quick sec. The reason why I initially came up here was actually to say that you were right, Dad Bod. Earlier, you said to Amanda that you're conflating what's happening with trans people to what Trump has done. And I agree with you, because when you talk about trans people maybe potentially doing something, you're talking about an irrational fear. But when it comes to Donald Trump, he has a track record of being disgusting and violating women. So you're right. That is a conflation, because Trump is predatory in nature. And there's proof of that.
But see, I think that's where I take issue, because I look at Trump and I say, okay, who is Trump now compared to who he was 20 or 30 years ago? I don't know. I don't know him.
He's the
I don't
same.
know.
He's the same. He's just as big of a piece of shit now as he was then. But that's the problem, is that you chose to do this. You chose to cover your eyes and ignore what was happening. Because Adam told you about this stuff every fucking day. I'm getting text messages, comments in the chat. People were like, he was on Adam's Craze Live almost daily, and Adam told this stuff all the time. And you chose not to do any kind of research and still vote for the man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
been
listened to what Adam had to say, and then I looked at what was being said in I was hearing two conflicting narratives. Like, one narrative was saying that, based on the E. Jean Carroll
Parker,
case,
Dean, and
she's
Santana,
accused
too.
30 other individuals. Yeah. So, but I'd never talked to them about that.
So
I've
you-
never talked
so
to them. It was
you
just Adam
heard-
Cray.
So you heard from the left about the facts of the case, and then you went back to the right and heard about the made up rumors or
Well, no,
whatever
I watched
about the case.
I watched the actual court case too, and like for example, just prime one example, the DNA testing specifically on the dress. They found I think it was 4 or 5 individual different DNA traces on her dress. And then with Trump denying to give his DNA, everyone keeps saying that he denied it, but then Trump did. It's public knowledge. Trump actually did say that he would give his DNA, and the judge denied it. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He didn't.
Stop.
He broke procedure.
The judge already said that they would not be taking further evidence. That is part of a trial. There is a certain point in a trial where discovery and evidentiary submissions are no longer permissible. Trump knew this. He had years to submit his DNA, and he chose not to. He waited until the judge said, no more evidence. We are done with this phase of the trial. And then he was like, wait, I want to do it. And the judge said no. So he could have exonerated himself for years prior to the ending of this case, and he chose not to.
And you know what else he chose to do, Amanda? Pay $80 million instead of give his DNA on time. And I'm sorry, but this man has some of the most well-paid and well-versed lawyers in the world. They knew exactly what they were doing.
He said he can't unmute. All right, well, while he figures that out, Peace, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, I listen to these young men all the time.
Do you
on
support
these
the
panels.
Republicans?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. I'm just looking for opposition. If you're not opposition, please remove yourself from the requests, unless you're somebody that I let up here all the time. Hey, that didn't apply to you. That's why I said. All right.
Hi, Diva. I'm glad that you
Hi, man.
chose me. Also, your hair looks fantastic. But okay, so the one thing is that I keep listening throughout what the hell is that sound?
It's somebody has. It was Tina.
Okay, thank you. Gosh, my ADHD is high today.
Same.
So, Dad Bod, when it comes to your political affiliation, you keep saying that you vote party over people. Now, the one thing that I find interesting is the most people that considerably are in
Only presidential.
in the Republican. Okay, so they are a. I'll speak about that in a second. Then, okay. So we'll go a little bit further in like what I'm trying to get into. So you're talking about like what conflates and like the people that actually are in the Republican Party because they're representative for those people. So basically, they're the loud horn that represents the whole party. Correct?
Essentially, the way I look at the president is they're just a marketing. They're just a face to me. That's just my personal.
So
opinion.
no, you just said it. Wait, you just said it. So as a marketing person, a face. So they're the ones giving out all the information from the Republican Party. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to get it to you because I want to be able to talk to you in terms that you understand just as well as like I'm trying to get to the point of what I'm trying to say as well too. So when you have this person that's speaking rhetoric that is harmful in nature about people in general and who have done past actions as a person, would you want typically say this is a great example? Would you want somebody who actively murdered somebody to speak in opposition for everybody as a whole? And let's not say Republican Party, let's just say as a person in general. Would you want them talking in general?
You mean like Eugene Carroll lying about 20 men raping her in her book?
Rosie, I wasn't done talking.
I don't care. That's consistency, right?
No,
She's
no,
a liar
Rosie,
and you guys
Rosie,
are spreading
Rosie.
false information.
Oye, por
You're
favor,
full of
cállate.
shit.
You wait your turn. You wait your turn.
No me callo, pendeja, babosa, mentirosa, you fucking liars.
Well-
Liars.
Hey. But anyways, Dad Bod, so why would you want...
Okay, so to answer your question, if I knew, like point blank, undeniably, burden of proof, this person was someone who unalives people, and of course I wouldn't vote for them because from a moral perspective, yeah, and it's the same. And I know where you're going with this, like from Trump's perspective, as far as the being held liable for SA and all of the egregious things that he said in his past, I also have to look at it from a perspective of, is he still the same person today that he was 20 years or 30 years ago? I don't know, because I don't know him. Like, and I know that sounds like a cheap cop-out. I get it. I know it sounds like a really poor excuse, but that's genuinely where I'm coming from. I can't, it's just like this. Like, I've said this before, if Kamala was promulgating a message that I thought was, morally aligned with me, I would have voted for Kamala.
What was wrong with her? So what was wrong with her message?
Present tense, one of the things that she specifically said was she wanted to give individuals who are incarcerated via tax funding dollars the ability to trans in prison once incarcerated. And I thought that was a complete waste of money because this person's already incarcerated. No, she said it. It's on stage. Just look it up. It's publicly wide known.
Regardless of that being true, and I know it's not because
hold on. Just pause 1 second. It wasn't during Trump's last administration when they started covering transitional care for inmates, Atropos?
I actually don't know that.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, it's been in existence the whole time. There's never been a push by Kamala Harris to do more for the trans community. And frankly, I don't know where you get this from, because the trans community, not speaking for the whole community as a monolith or anything, but a lot of trans people did not appreciate Kamala Harris for not actively speaking up for the trans community nearly enough. I think she spoke on them maybe once or twice in public, and that's not enough.
She changed.
So what are you talking about?
She changed her rhetoric, though. She changed her rhetoric, and if you would like for me, I can actually provide a citation of when she did say that, because she was on stage and she specifically referenced that. But what happened was, optically, it looked bad for her, and she changed her rhetoric. That was another thing that I didn't like about Kamala, as far as she would change her rhetoric based on where she was actually speaking. That to me is just disingenuous, and I get it. I know. Look, before you sacrifice me on this hill up here, I understand politicians do that purposely because of optics. And I don't like that. I cannot stand it. But
I was right.
Saying that was just one example.
Just so you know, under the Trump administration, okay, Trump appointees at the Bureau of Prisons, the division of the Justice Department, provide an array of gender-affirming treatments, including hormone therapy for a small group of inmates who requested it during Trump's first 4 years in office. So he did, in fact, provide gender-affirming care to inmates.
I was completely unaware of that.
There you go. I mean, and the thing too, like when I think about Kamala Harris and what she was running
that was on Congress.gov, by the way. That's not from any source. That's from Congress.gov.
Yeah, I don't doubt you. I'm sure you're being honest with me. It's just, again, going back to the Kamala Trump thing. It's the party in general. When it comes to national versus local, the party in general is where I look at the policies. And one of the other things that I was not in agreement with, and again, I understand this, it sounds super hypocritical, but the party that was talking more so about like pro-life seemed to be trending more so on the Republican side versus on the Democrat side. It seemed to be more so pro-choice. And to me, I just felt like that was really hypocritical, because I get it. There are both, like, you can have Republicans that are pro-choice as well.
I have a question about pro-life.
Can I just ask something really quick? Since
in my state, specifically, mandatory vaccinations, and the party that was talking about being pro-choice was not pro-choice when it came to things like being mandated vaccines.
I know.
Please let Amanda finish.
So,
you
don't want to protect your children from communicable diseases. You don't want to give your daughters the option on the path that their life takes them. Like, it sounds like you're very much against your daughters and your daughters' mental health and well-being. Do you not understand how these things
I never said communicable disease. I never said I don't want to protect my children against communicable diseases.
Vaccines prevent communicable diseases.
Amanda, by the time that the vaccine specifically, and I'm not talking about Operation Warp Speed, but with Pfizer, for example, but we had Novavax, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Biogenomics, and there are a couple of others, but primarily here in America, it was Novavax, Moderna, and Pfizer. By the time that the vaccines were rolling out for young children specifically, we already had data that showed that young children were not susceptible or not as susceptible to high mortality rates unless they had autoimmune diseases. They already had some sort of deficiency. My children did not, and therefore I was not happy
So
with the school
they may
system
not be
saying they have to be
susceptible to
vaccinated against
mortality,
something
but
that they are
God,
not.
please stop monologuing and have a conversation. So
That's
having
not monologuing.
children
I'm just giving you my
having
reason.
children, while their mortality rate was not as high, their rate for MIS-C was much higher than adults, and MIS-C can cause lifelong problems, and up to and including death. So
But
it
all
doesn't.
the data
It doesn't.
that came out at that time supported the fact that young children, for them it was just like a bad cold if they contracted SARS-CoV-2.
Yeah, you understand these kids that are not
But
showing any
but it's not
signs
just-
would then spread it.
It's not just about children,
Asymptomatic,
right? Exactly.
yeah, I understand there's
Being
asymptomatic individuals too.
For me, that's honestly, I'm not gonna, I don't know your intelligence, I don't know you as a person, but to me, that's ridiculous, because when it comes to kids, who wants to see, like, kids the most, or grandkids, is usually the grandparents, and when that happens, usually these kids usually have adverse things going on with themselves, and they're a carrier, essentially. They're a spaceship of germs that then latch on to the grandparents. And this is true in flu season. Over 20% or 30% of grandparents who see their children typically get sick within some sort of relevance that they have seen their kids. So with that happening, why would you not want your kids to have a vaccine? I'm not going to say the vaccine. And then also, I want to conflate with this as well too. We know COVID was real. We all understand that it was real, but we had a person in the White House saying that it's just a hoax for many months.
Vaccinated.
So who actually got vaccinated, and then also who took off his mask when he got vaccinated, like after he got vaccinated as well too, thinking that he was super immune, and that's not the truth. Like with the health concerns that were released by not only the WHO but also other health organizations within here in America, they were giving out systematic information, and then he was saying, "No, that's not true. It's not true. Everyone's fine." But in actuality, people were dying. I saw it firsthand. I worked in the military as a COVID personnel for the United States military. And during this time, I had to work in federal jurisdictions for nursing homes. And there were people that were working there that were big fans of Trump. And so they would intentionally put party over the people, like what you were talking about earlier. And so they believed that, oh no, vaccine, like COVID is hoax. It's not true. And then they would come to work and I would have to test them. And when I would test them and they would show up that they were hot for the vaccine, for COVID, they would be like, no, it's not. I need to go get myself then if I can't work when they know the policy that they can't actually be in there. And so by them doing that, they broke regulations that were mandated by the federal government. And then when they went in there, they spread the germs of COVID. I saw 70% of people in that wing that they went down to grab their stuff die from COVID-related causes. And we had to go underneath an emergency dialysis throughout the whole system, where they had to cut off the wings. There were 4 wings that I was working on. And when that happened, 70% of the people in Wing 1 died, 60% of people died in Wing 2, 80% of people died in Wing 3, and Wing 4, thank God, was never touched. But this is what I'm talking to you about. Your person who is a representative of your party as a person and is conflating information from the party was actively saying that, no, it's not true. None of this is true. And then you had people go out there spreading the germs, and then people died. I think it's incredibly stupendous upon you saying that you support the party and the person doesn't matter, but the person really had a huge impact on over, countless of deaths.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention the medical providers that had to bear witness to all of that death.
Can I respond? And I'll try to do it in under a minute. First and foremost, Trump at the time, I think we can all agree this was a novel virus, SARS-CoV-2. It was considered to be a novel virus, correct? Even though it was a form of coronavirus. That said, under the Trump administration, we had Operation Warp Speed. Under the EUA, the Emergency Uses Authorization for Pfizer specifically. Once that occurred, and once the rollouts occurred, more data started coming out after Trump's administration and rolled over into the Biden administration. At that point in time, we had enough data to show that young children, specifically that were not immune or didn't have autoimmune diseases or weren't immune compromised, were relatively okay. The reason why, and this is very important, the reason why I was not a fan of it because of the demographics based on where I live. Locally, the mortality rate was significantly low. Out of the population, which was a lower population, we had 15 mortalities within a year. And the demographic where I'm at is the population's like under 60,000. So we were not worried, first and foremost, that our children were going to. We didn't take them out anywhere either. We homeschooled for one. But we didn't take them out anywhere that would potentially expose them or others. Secondly, with the grandparents are concerned, my parents personally were vaccinated. They got the Pfizer under their first round. We weren't concerned about that, and they weren't concerned about that. Therefore, as far as exposure and being asymptomatic, that was a non-issue for them. Now, lastly, when it comes to Trump, I think he handled it wrong 100% because he literally was worried about the economy and he tried to write it off like it wasn't a big deal. But then he did, just to be fair, he did come out with Operation Warp Speed and pushed out the vaccines via Pfizer under the EUA. So you got to give him a little bit of credit there.
No, because the reason why he was intentionally ignoring health and safety information that was put out by professionals. He's not a professional in the medical field. So when you actively are saying, no, this is not true. Yeah, he was. Oh,
yes,
what
but that was sarcasm. He literally
No,
said that
it wasn't.
Like,
oh my
No,
gosh,
it wasn't.
no.
He's that stupid. He's actually that stupid. He was
No,
talking
come
about
on.
UV
Guys,
lights and injecting bleach.
He's
that
a troll.
Stupid. No,
Okay,
the
so
president, hold on.
I think that's a
Everybody
bit naive.
stop. Everybody stop. The president of the United States should not be a troll. And the fact that you voted for somebody who would say shit like that to people in this country, knowing that we have people in this country who would believe that, because how do we know that? There's evidence to support that. Like coffee cups saying caution, contents are hot, and warnings on Tide Pods saying that they are not for consumption. So he knew that people are just that fucking dumb and would say something like that. Should not be the president of the United States. And that was his last administration, and then you voted for the guy again.
Yeah, I don't agree with what he said, but I also look at it from a perspective of the guy is extremely cynical and sarcastic. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's presidential. I'm just saying that's how he is. I can't change that about him. But he did roll out after being advised by Anthony Fauci that Operation Warp Speed was something to do. I actually was against that personally because I didn't know enough data. We didn't have enough data that supported that it was even going to be safe and effective. And then we found out months later that the efficacy was declining month over month. And you know what? That it is what it is. He did what he did, but he still rolled out with Operation Warp Speed. Because the viruses mutate.
Correct. Had people gotten vaccinated and we achieved herd immunity, we wouldn't have had the issues that we had.
Right.
And
I don't believe that's true because
I don't care what you believe to be true because
we'd not
you've
have gotten
already
herd
shown
immunity
us that
because
facts
viruses
don't matter to
mutate.
you.
We just said that. We just confirmed that viruses mutate. Therefore, herd immunity would not have been
Santana said he banned you for the summer because you contribute nothing to the conversation, and it looks as though he's correct. That you just like to hear yourself talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally talking to Santana right now.
Well, I think you just disagree with what I'm saying, and it is what it is.
It's not that I disagree with what you're saying. It's a fucking nothing burger. Everything that you're saying is a nothing burger. You're talking about trans people. We provided you evidence that the people who are committing these crimes are straight white men, mostly, but men, okay, not trans people. The president is somebody who has, in fact, bragged about sexually assaulting people. Then we talk about abortion and we're telling you that abortion is necessary, and you're putting your daughters at risk by not supporting people having access to healthcare. You don't care. We're talking to you about vaccines and about what happened during COVID, and we're telling you that it was mismanaged and that had people gotten the vaccine like Donald Trump did, then we would have had a faster resolution to COVID. We would have reached the point where we're at now where people aren't dying the way they were, but they're still getting infected. We would have reached this point a whole hell of a lot sooner without millions of people dying, and you don't care. Like, you genuinely don't care. You just wanted to vote for Trump.
Yep.
Because
Did
if
I
you
say I don't care?
You would have. You don't care, because if you had cared, you would have found
Okay,
out
so-
the
so
details
you're basing-
of E. Jean Carroll's case. No, it's
So you're basing this conversation off of
You've
an
exhibited
assumption
it.
then.
No, it's
Well,
not
Dad
assumption.
bod-
No, that's your
You've
opinion.
exhibited it.
That,
You've
that's an
exhibited
opinion.
it.
You can't have a
You've
debate on an
exhibited it.
opinion.
You've exhibited
bod.
that behavior.
Yeah, you started the conversation on this panel by saying, you know, that this is just a divisive thing that politics are using right now in regards to trans people. You acknowledged that was your number one issue on your mind, was getting trans people out of sports, and that you recognize how divisive this topic is. That's how you started.
Yeah,
Are you
and
gonna,
what I was
gonna
saying,
sit here now and say that you cared about any of these other things?
what I was saying, no, because there's more than just one variable. Like, that's where context and nuance matters. If you want to actually have a good faith conversation with someone, regardless of if you agree or not, you can't just do it based off of a black and white and no gray. There's always a gray area. There's always going to be nuance. There's always going to be context. And you can't just, again, like, trying to have a debate off of a opinion, there's no winning or losing there. It's just basically you're just hypotheticals and theories at that point in time. So to me, that's just a waste of time. To have a good faith conversation, this is why I like.
But you can't even base the conversation off of nuance, because you don't even understand the basic facts of what it is that you're talking about. So for us to even go into nuance, you need to have a very basic understanding of what it is that you voted for, and you don't have that. So we can't even get into
Well, I
nuance.
did. I voted for what the party, like I said, was promulgating at the time, which was pro-life, which was no men and women's sports, which was trying to have a secure border, which was no war. And yeah, I get a lot of these things didn't happen.
You also
yeah,
agree that these are divisive.
Yeah, but the left was doing the same thing. I mean, they're talking about people comparing them to Schmittler and Schnazis all day long. That's divisive too.
Dad bod, do you understand that there are... Right, like, do you understand that there are
But see, I could say the same thing
neo-Nazis,
about
Dad
the
bod?
left.
I don't know what your thing is with interrupting me, but it's getting old. Do you understand that there are New Age neo-Nazis in this country that are actively, doing little protest marches and stuff? Do you get
Yeah, I
that?
also understand that a Democrat, there's literally a Democrat politician in Pennsylvania that has a Schnazi tattoo on him, and he's literally running, and he's probably going to win. I mean,
Well,
what is your point?
See, you're misinformed again. His name is Graham Plattner, and he's in Maine, and he no longer has that tattoo.
Maine, sorry.
You know who does have a tattoo, though, that's in reference to Nazi culture? He still
Pete
has
Hegseth.
it.
Pete Hegseth.
Right.
So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, yay or nay?
No, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if you had a tattoo and removed it, you still had it. It's the same. What's the difference? You're just trying to hide something now. You're not disclosing. That's disingenuous.
No. See, we have to understand. We have to look at things in nuance again, right? There was a period of time in my life where early 2000s where we used the R word all the time. I didn't know it was a slur. Now I know it's a slur. I don't use it anymore. I haven't for a very, very, very long
what
time.
word that is.
But we learn
I'm
and
not sure
we
what you're
grow,
referring
right?
to.
We change our behavior when we understand that we are harming people. That's what normal people do. So Graham Plattner covered his tattoo. He said, I didn't know that that's what it was associated with. The tattoo is covered, it's removed, whatever. Pete Hegseth still has his tattoos. So he hasn't grown, changed, or realized what it was that he was doing, or he has realized it and he doesn't give a fuck. There's the difference. That's the symmetry breaker for you.
I have no idea.
I just want to talk about one thing real quick, because you mentioned it, and we also had a previous conversation before we went off and talked about like vaccines. So you still say that you support the Republican platform because of like the policies that they believe in, and to me, that's a lot of that
Not
is
all.
mostly okay. You don't have to believe in all, but when believing in a party, when you're voting for all those policies. And I wanna really challenge you. I don't think I'm gonna be able to like win with you, and that's fine. Like, that's not my goal. My goal is to like help inform, maybe have you question why you're supporting them even more, and then maybe you can conflate hate and see like, oh, there's more hateful rhetoric when it comes from the right wing. Because from me, and this is say there was no Democrat or Republican Party, okay? If you have somebody who's actively being supported by people who believes in a genocide, I would not vote for them. I would not also vote for people who deny that the genocide. Oh my God, sorry, my cats are fighting. Stop. But I would not vote for a party that has people also who have genocide deniers. I would not vote for people who actively show racist tendencies. I would not vote for people who don't want any rights established for the LGBTQIA plus community. Like we have, like the time and time again with the Republican Party, it shows that they're in opposition of everyone having the same rights as cis white people. And it's proven by the actions and by the moral integrity of them. So when it comes to that, why would you not want to vote for a party that aligns for making sure that everybody has the same rights?
Right, and so I've already said that both parties have their flaws, and there are certain elements that I do and do not agree with. As far as going back to what you said about Republicans specifically not supporting LGBTQ community, that's not true either, though. Like, there are plenty of Republicans out there, and this is where I think people confuse conservatives with Republicans, because you can be a progressive Republican and you can be a conservative Republican, or you can just be a conservative. Yes, you can.
You cannot.
We've had progressive Republicans.
You cannot be.
Yeah, if you're a progressive Republican, you're just like a liberal. Like, just call yourself.
That's exactly what liberalism is.
No, come on, that's not true. No, because look, here's a good example. Here's a good example of a progressive policy that Republicans have been on board with. Republicans used to be completely and adamant, vehemently against same-sex marriage, and that changed. That was a literal.
That has not changed. They're still against. They're still against same-sex marriage.
No, not at all. You're generalizing. That's not true. Look at the policies of the Republican Party promulgated over the.
Tell me a Republican who has championed for the remaining of what is it? I can't say it. What is the court case?
IVF?
No.
Oh, no.
Talking about same-sex marriage. Tell me a Republican who's still in support. Yeah, exactly. Who is in favor of same-sex marriage? Tell me one. Who champions for same-sex marriage?
Like, you want me to do a rapid fire?
Just one. Just give me one.
I mean, literally, Donald Trump has promulgated same-sex marriage. So is George Bush. Yes, he has. He's literally come out before. Anymore. Okay, fine. We're going to talk currently then. Yeah, yes. There are plenty of people that have been for it. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Donald Trump. They've all spoken about being pro same-sex marriage. I mean, look, if we're going to talk about politics and say how the Overton window has shifted or changed,
tell you,
look at Obama used to be for same-sex marriage, and he changed.
Sir, if I tell you I love dogs and then go home and kick my dog every night, do I love dogs? The answer is no. So if I say I am in favor of same-sex marriage and then continuously vote in favor of legislation that would get rid of same-sex marriage or support the party doing things that would get rid of same-sex marriage, I don't in fact support same-sex marriage. I'm just talking out both sides of my neck.
Ooh, W. And also, don't forget the Heritage Foundation and what a role that they are playing in politics right now, and that Donald Trump has absolutely allowed them to exact all the things they want, including, eventually, limitations on same-sex marriage.
Do you guys remember, to further my point even further, do you guys remember when that memo came out of the adversaries that were going to be focused on the United States? So anyone who did not fit into the perfect family idea, it was literally like 2 months ago. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when that comes to mine and everything, what's a perfect family idea? You think of a straight, heteronormative family that have children. So anyone who does not fit that is the opposition. And so when it comes to targeting and stuff like that, when you have that rhetoric being put out by these government agencies saying that they're going to focus on those people, that shows that they do not support gay people. It shows that they do not support Black and brown people. That shows that they don't support any queer representation. So when you're talking about, oh, like, I don't know anybody who is not like that, but then we have these people who are being like basically put up at this pedestal by Trump, who are in these areas of control now, such as the CIA, such as the FBI, and they're starting to release this stuff saying that there's going to be a new group that focuses on targeting these people that don't fit the ideal family, then yeah, you're sort of actually lying about the opposition of what you're talking about, Dad Bod.
The only thing that Donald Trump has said in favor of same-sex marriage is that it's settled law. He actually is not in favor of same-sex marriage. He just said it's settled law and has not made any further comments about it. He has said that he is in favor of traditional marriage, just like what A was talking about.
Well, the whole point of bringing that up is that things change. And that's why I brought up Obama, because Obama said that he was for same-sex marriage at one point in time, and then he shifted, he changed. Because of what? Maybe it was a narrative, maybe he's actually ideologically changed, I don't know. But either way, we do have progressive individuals that are Republican. Like, we've had progressive policies come out of the Republican Party. That was my whole disagreement there.
Okay, name one of them.
I just don't. Okay, a progressive policy that's come out of the Republican Party?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, well, first and foremost, what is your definition of progressive?
No, it's based on your definition of progressive, not mine. What is a progressive policy that has come out of the Republican Party?
Do 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 do.
Girl, I was thinking the same thing.
Also, for anyone in the chat, if you're seriously questioning your political affiliation right about now, you could always go online and find these really cool free tests where it'll, place you on the political spectrum and tell you what your party affiliation really is. It's called like the Overton window test, stuff like that. So you could see for yourself if maybe, as it turns out, you're more liberal or progressive than you thought, and in which case you can't really call yourself a Republican anymore, huh?
Mm.
Hello?
All right, well, I guess he's gone.
I think his reception. He was saying his reception was going in and out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
thanks for having me up as always.
See you later, Atropos. Come on back if we hit some mobs.
Yeah, totally. Feel free to drop me for the,
For the algo. All right, bye.
Yeah. Bye.
We got to play the song, though. We got to play the song.
What's up?
What's up, Chris? How are you doing today?
I am doing good. What's the dilly,
That's
Billy?
wonderful.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Do you still support the Republicans?
I do, because the Republicans and conservatives kind of tied at the hip there. But I mean, if we can have a conservative party, I'd be like, I would not support the Republicans, but unfortunately, we align more with Republicans.
So what is it that you support? That makes you vote Republican?
Well, I definitely support border security. I think it's a very important aspect of what we have as a country and keeping our country safe. Which in return has not always been a very strong point on the Democrat side. So now we are forced to have to do, we as in, what we voted for, Donald Trump, we're forced to have to push through mass deportations. And it's not always going to be the most pretty thing to have to deal with, but we wouldn't be in this position if Biden and Harris didn't allow people to come over in droves, but it happened. There's a lot of those things. I definitely agree with tariffs. I agree with holding other countries accountable and creating a fair trade policy. That's very important too. I agree with the kicking back the EOs behind Biden and
So can we go back to go back to
well,
immigration real quick? Well, let's just do one thing at a time, because then we're gonna have a whole list of shit to talk about, and
all right.
it's easier to just go one thing at a time. So how do you feel about the Republicans voting against the Bipartisan Border Act of 2024?
What now? Say what? What is it? Are you talking about the one that was kicked back because the bipartisan bill that the Democrats tacked a whole bunch of junk into, and then it got kicked back?
Like what?
I don't remember exactly what it was. It was not. Oh, I know what it was. It was they were allowing. The allowance was supposed to bring. I think it was supposed to bring like 15,000 people a week or something, some crazy number, and then that's why it got kicked back. Because they were
15,000 people is not a lot of people, but this legislation was.
It might have been 15,000 people a day. I don't remember the exact specifications around it, but I do know it was a ridiculous amount. I think it might have been 15,000 a day. But it was a ridiculous amount, and it just wasn't a viable solution around a secure border. Yeah.
The reason why they voted against it, voted against it is because Donald Trump told them to, and said specifically to blame it on him when the bill failed. The bill was supported by the National Border Patrol.
But how can you have a secure border? But the thing is, how can
because he would have taken away the part of his platform that he needed that was necessary to instill fear and incite anger amongst his voters. This bill, the bipartisan bill, was supported by the National Border Patrol Council, which is the Border Patrol agents' very own union, the Chamber of Commerce, and the South Texas Alliance of Cities. None of those are liberal coalitions. None of those have anything to do with the left. Those are actually more aligned with the Republican Party. They supported this piece of legislation, but Donald Trump told them not to vote for it because it would take away the key piece of his platform that was necessary. So how does that make you feel?
Are we just going to gloss over to 15,000 entries per day?
It's not. It wasn't 15,000 entries per day. It was 5,000 per week.
5,000 entries per day.
Week.
Per day.
Week.
Go ahead and throw it up on the screen.
I can't because I'm on studio, but I can tell you I have to pull up the piece of legislation.
Pull up the source, too.
I can't spell the day.
Also, I just want to verify with you, Chris, you were saying that
I apologize, it was 5,000 per day, and you can look this up on the American Immigration Council.
And like I said, it was a crazy number. And the thing is, you can sit there and
but the Cato Institute also says something different. So I have to actually pull up the actual bill and read the entire bill again to know which
I'm
one it is.
basing all this off
Because Cato says 5,000 per day, and then American Immigration Council says 5,000 per day, and then the other one says per week.
Well,
so
I'm basing.
I have to read into it, but it doesn't matter. It's not even that many people. 5,000 people
does matter because that was the whole basis upon rejecting it in the first place.
No, that's not why they rejected it. They literally rejected it because Donald Trump said not to vote. No, it's literally because Donald Trump said not to vote in favor of it because it was a key component of his presidential platform. And had they had fixed the border and had they had come to a bipartisan agreement, it would have taken away one of the key points of his platform. So he said vote against it, vote it down.
The thing is, if Trump's going to run on a secure border, then you're going to pass a bill which is going to overlap into his presidency, and then it'll still allow 5,000 per day, and which completely diminishes the point of a secure border. So obviously, if the Republicans are going to align with the president, which is the Republican president, obviously that's not going to be a possibility.
Hey, Chris, I have a question. Have you ever been to the border ever?
I lived in New Mexico and I saw plenty of border activity.
just for context, according to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, currently we have about 1,000 per day in January 2026, and in January 2025 we had 2,600 per day. So we're still having thousands of people per day enter the country. So the border's not closed, as you say. What that piece of legislation would have done would have set a cap.
I never said the border was closed. Well, you want to play semantics. I never
say
said
that you said that. I didn't
just
say that you said
you even
that.
did finger fucking quotes. Yes, you did.
I said border closed. The border is not. I said the border is not closed. There are still people crossing.
Yeah, but then you said, as you say, with your finger quotes.
Because you said the border is closed. The border is not closed. The border still.
But now you're contradicting yourself because you just told me that you didn't say that I said the border's closed, and I told you I didn't. So we're kind of going back and forth here. So
Jesus fucking Christ, the border is not closed. You said you voted for closed borders.
We can pray. Hold on, just take a moment. Dear Lord God, please give Amanda.
I'm not dealing with somebody being disrespectful. I'm not. I'm
for the next person that comes up. I want to say this, and I always say this in every live when we have opposition like this, but in order to have a debate, you have to let each other talk. I will say with this last guy, Chris, was not that great at all because he kept interrupting, and then he started using his religion as a tool to weaponize against this debate, which I think is interesting. I've never really seen that before, besides people who can't think for themselves. But when it comes to the guy before that previously, at least he let people talk, and then you could have some sort of opposition in between, at least. Trust me, I don't like him still. But still, come on.
If you're gonna argue that you voted for the Republicans because you wanted a closed border, the border is not closed. He was being facetious, Mazziotti. He was going to say something. I cut him off. He was going to say something that was really disrespectful because he started saying it, and I kicked him. The border is not closed. The border has never been closed except during COVID when we had to close the border, and many other countries throughout the world limited travel. We were limiting crossings and travel for a reason because millions of people were dying. Like, it's not difficult to understand that. But people are still crossing into the United States today. We would have had a piece of legislation that was bipartisan. It was literally bipartisan. Meaning the Republicans and the Democrats agreed on the terms of the bill. And then Donald Trump said, don't fucking vote for this because it kills my entire platform. And they said, yes, sir. Okay, daddy.
I also want to talk about the narrative because I asked him if he has never, he was trying to say that he saw the border or was in New Mexico at the time. I strongly, when I criticize anyone who actually physically has not been there, so like I'm speaking from other people's stories, from military, because you understand this as a veteran, Amanda, that you've had people who were in the military who was working on the border mission before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the United States military has been helping with this. I don't want to say issue because honestly, it's another enigma of its own entity. But when it comes to the border mission in general, you'll have veterans say like there is mistreatment, there is misplacement based upon accusations that are not true sometimes. And with the conflation, what the president did, he made it harder because he's focusing on diminishing anybody to get entry into the United States, which causes more harmful rhetoric to be against these people. And then it's going to make the people that are coming in look like they're the problem. And I don't understand why would you want that in general.
Dude, I had to look this up. Somebody on YouTube said that Donald Trump said clean coal was coal that was washed. That's how dumb he is. Yeah. This man said that this man said they're going to take out clean coal, meaning they're taking out coal and they're going to clean it.
Genius.
What the fuck? Thank you for contributing that to the conversation. How do you guys... oh my god, he's so dumb. He's so dumb. He's so dumb. That's what he said. He said they're going to take out the coal and they're going to clean it. Why do you guys listen to this man? Why? Good God, it's terrible. Now I put my camera too low.
Also, happy Pride Month.
Yes, we are celebrating Pride Month all month long here, and we celebrate it all year because June is not the only time that you should have Pride. But we have a lot of naysayers who don't like Pride Month, who are very upset about Pride Month, and they're like, why do you have Pride Month, but the military doesn't get a month?
The military gets a month, Diva.
Where were you guys all of May? Where were you guys all of May? Where were you guys? No, I'm not letting you back up because you're disrespectful. I'm not letting you back up because you're disrespectful.
Also, the amount of misinformation coming from them was stifling too.
Sometimes I just check out. Oh, Christian, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Hi, I'm 51 years old. I voted for Harris, and I'm a Democrat. But the reason why I wanted to come up is because I'm an anesthesiologist, and I hear a lot of dumb shit said by Republicans and pro-life, and what they believe and not believe is a zygote and how long they live and blah, blah, blah. I just can't believe the ignorance and the... I don't know how you do this on a daily basis. Do you have like a therapist? Because I mean, like, I feel like I need to go to one just listening to this idiocy all day long. And I feel
I do go to therapy.
because,
I'm like,
and it's insane. Like I personally feel stupid because I didn't think that there were this many bad people in the world. And I truly mean that they're bad if they're supporting a person such as Trump, and they'll go to no lengths. You know, they will stop at nothing to defend this man. I mean, that one of the last callers said that he was being sarcastic when he said the bleach. No, he wasn't. Did you see? We could all see Fauci's and the other doctors' faces. They were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this shit." And he meant that shit 100%. I mean, he was spewing ivermectin. I mean, I could go on for days. Well, anyway, thank you for having me up. You have an incredible job, and God bless your heart. Keep up the good work and keep in good mental health. All right,
I will.
All right, take care.
Bye. I also work in healthcare. I am not an anesthesiologist, but I also work in healthcare, and seeing people so just uninformed about their bodies and the bodies of the opposite sex is just fucking wild. Fucking wild. Chris, what do you want to say? I let you back up. I wasn't gonna. What is it that you want to say?
Wow, I thought we were going to continue conversation. What, I just got to talk now by myself? Is this my show or your show?
No, I'm asking you what it is that you want to say. I'm giving you a
we were
chance
going to
to
continue
speak.
conversation.
I'm giving you a chance to speak.
So-
Take it or you're gone.
Am I going to continue my explanation based upon what about the DEI EOs that he reversed? Those were good too. Because DEI is racist. It's racist policy.
Why is it racist?
Because it's promoting pushing people through a system, fast tracking them through regardless of merit, but solely on race.
White people also benefit from DEIA.
The primary is DEI was primarily for people of color.
White people also benefit from DEI. You think there are disabled white people?
Disabled white people are getting pushed through at the levels of fast tracking them through systems.
Who gets fast tracked?
Whoever is qualified to go through DEI.
Whoever qualifies to go through DEI. So they don't have to meet the job requirements. They just, like, you're black, you got it. You can do it.
Well, they get pushed through. They get pushed through the system faster than.
You sound a lot like Charlie Kirk right now, without any kind of foundation. Give me some kind of statistical evidence to support that.
You have Executive Order 13.
Give me some kind of I don't care about the executive order. Give me some kind of statistical evidence to support that people were being put into positions that they were not qualified for.
Well, specifically Executive Order 13985 back in 2021. That is primarily the racist executive order. And then you got
Give
14035.
me an example of someone, some kind of data. We need some data, because if it was happening, there'd be data on it that shows that people who are not qualified for jobs were being placed into these positions.
These people were getting picked to go through the system
Give me some
to have the minimum
kind of,
qualification.
okay, goodbye. I don't care about the fifis in your tum-tum. Nor do I care about an executive order. This guy has made executive orders about every motherfucking thing. Everything. Most of them have no fucking merit. Like, I don't know if you know this, but you can go as the president, you can write an executive order and say Pepsi is better than Coke. Like, it means nothing.
He has.
So give me some kind of
kidding.
data. McDonald's is far superior. If you don't eat a Big Mac, you're un-American. Like, you can literally do that. You can write an executive order and sign it that says that. Does it mean it fucking does anything? No. Does it mean that it's based in fact? No. It doesn't.
Honestly, at this point, I really think that he is sponsored by McDonald's, by how much he eats it live on camera. But I also want to say, if you guys are watching the chat and you guys agree or disagree, especially if you disagree, come up on the opposition. But if you guys are not liking that screen because Amanda's amazing, what's wrong with you? Also, why are you not sending any gifts for this diva with the great hair? Because honestly, I love it. It looks like a blowout today, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, tap that screen.
We don't know. This is your last chance, opposition. If you still support the Republicans, now is your chance to come up, because I have to go in a little bit. I have a wax appointment before I got to go to work. Your girl got to get aerodynamic. Also, because I haven't shaved my legs in like 3 fucking weeks, so I got to get waxed.
Girl, it's fine. I don't think people should have to shave their leg for.
Well, I don't really grow hair
no
anymore.
benefit.
Since I hit perimenopause, I don't really grow hair because of hormonal changes. So I don't have to shave like that, but I just want to wax, and then I won't have to shave at all the whole summer. So this is your last chance. I am going to. You want my Discord? I don't have a Discord. So you can keep yelling about where the fuck is the Discord, but I don't have one right now. We closed the Discord because nobody was participating. There's a signal chat, but people don't participate in there either. Why is the camera not working? Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck is going on. All right, you're gonna have to not be able to see the ops. You're gonna have to just look at me. Sorry. Something is going on with the screen capture. No, I'm 40. I guess nobody wants to talk, eh?
They're scared. I'm just kidding. I don't want to say that because that sounds like a huge ego, and I'm not that kind of diva. But you know what? I don't want to talk either when you are submitting facts in a mission instead of having a trust me bro kind of mentality. So that's all I have to say on that. So
yeah, I don't know what their deal is. All right, there we go. I fixed it. Now they can see the panel too. I guess they don't want to talk to me. Somebody said take the live to the waxer. No. No. I'm not going to let you watch my legs and nether regions be waxed. Sorry. Maybe on Schmonly Schmans one day. I'll take you with me. But not here.
Oh, you should remind the divas about when they vote and everything. What you agreed to do.
Ballots for boobs. Ballots for boobs. Listen, if you vote when we come to the midterms, thank you so much, Christian. I appreciate you. There was somebody else that I had to give a shout out to. Hold on one second. Let me give this shout outs because I saw it drop down on my screen, but I didn't read it. So big W to Christian twice. Thank you so much, Christian, for the Venmos. Everybody drop W's to Christian with a K in the chat. I really, really appreciate you. We also have a big W to Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate you. I'm going to get a coffee with this one for sure. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, Tia, for the bubbles. Ooh, it made a noise. But yeah, so ballots for boobs. If you vote up and down your ballot for Democrat candidates during the midterms, and you go onto my Schmoly Schmans, which you can find at Overpriced Nip Slips, and send me your ballot, and I'm talking about the midterms, not in the primaries, and send me a picture of your ballot that you voted up and down, I will send you a picture of my boobies. So, you know, ballots for boobs. TikTok! It's for educational purposes only. This is a hypothetical. We're just talking about something. No,
You can't deny it. That's gonna be like the.
this is for real. It's all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause. Ballots for the bubs. The bubs. It's fantastic marketing. Listen, and I don't care. He, she, they, gay, straight, whatever. Ballots for boobs. Overpriced nip slips on the Schmoly Schmans. And, you know, you could already be a blue voter. Why not? You want the phone number to call in? I will open up the call line for you guys because we have just a couple minutes left. I will let you call in. Oh, there you are on Schmoly
Wait, how long do you have?
How
long do you have left?
I have a hard stop in 30 minutes.
Okay. Just so that they're aware as well, too.
Yeah, maybe even not that long. So the phone line is open. If you are on YouTube or Twitch and you want to call in, the number to call is 407-494-4348. It is for you right there on your screen. You can call in to have a conversation and add to why do you still support the Republicans? No, send a picture of your beehole and I'll do it. Beeholes for ballots? I don't think that I'm going to send you a picture of my beehole. Sorry. Holy shit, it's real? It is real. I told you. I have a Schmoly Schmans. It's overpriced nip slips. Why would I lie?
Amanda, when you run for presidency, you should really put that on as your slogan.
Ballots for boobs.
Ballots for boobs, Diva.
All right, we got a caller. Can you hear the ringing?
Yes.
So that means you'll be able to hear the call. Great. Hello, caller. Please tell your age and where you are calling from.
30s in the great Republican state of Florida.
All right. What would you like to add to the conversation?
I just want to see exactly how sexist and racist y'all two are, because that's all I'm hearing.
Okay, sure.
If I remember, sexualizing women is not good, so you shouldn't be selling your body parts for votes, number one.
That's not sexist. Sexual liberation is actually very anti-sexist.
Well,
I'm not sexualizing anybody. I'm not sexualizing anyone.
You're sexualizing yourself. You're selling your nude body parts.
So what? What does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with you?
Do you remember? Didn't the singer try that also? Didn't Cher try that, or who the hell ever?
No,
like,
I don't know what you're talking about. She was
giving out free blowjobs if you vote for.
You can't say that, sir. That is against the community.
Okay, my bad. My apologies. My apologies.
You have a choice.
PJ,
Nobody is forcing you to vote for anybody. I'm just saying, as if you do, as an added incentive, if you send me a picture showing that you did, I will send you a picture of my boobies. There's nothing wrong with that. They're mine. I can do what I want with them.
Though?
They're mine. I can do what I want with them.
Do that. If a Republican would do that, say, hey, if you vote for me, I'll send you a picture of my
Can I let you in on a little? Can I let you in on a little secret? Most of the people.
Immature?
No. Most of the people who sexualize me
are very immature.
Are you gonna let me talk or no? Are you not? Yes, so you're not gonna let me talk? Okay.
Go ahead.
So most of the people who follow me and ask me for degradation or public humiliation are in fact right-wing people. They're not Dems. They're Republicans.
Okay. So what does that have to do with you?
Also, I want to say this real quick. As for a man that's telling a woman to do whatever to do with their body, hang on 1 minute. As a man that's telling a woman to do what she needs to do with her body, you're absolutely wrong.
You don't even know what you are. Why should we care what your opinion is?
What are you talking about? I know I'm a man.
You was born.
The hell are you talking about? You don't know nothing.
Weren't you born in the wrong body? So don't you have the wrong brain also? That's all I have to say.
No.
Let's be real about
This
it.
guy does not.
They're
know
not
what the fuck-
trans.
Let's be real about it. Is that your real
Stop.
voice? No, it's not.
Stop.
So you're being fake off the rip.
Stop. I've muted you. I've muted you. Nobody can hear you right now, friend. The other person
He's probably
who's
still
talking to
talking.
you is not trans. They are not trans.
And I served this country, and I've gone on a combat tour. So
What does that have to do with anything?
because you're saying I'm confused,
Was
but
that-
if I'm so confused, why did I
Does that
help
make
out
you
this
right about
country? Why did I
everything?
lead America to victory before?
Hold on. Did you serve the country because you thought it was the good thing to do? Or did you serve the country for 3 years to talk about it for 20? Did you serve it for the benefits? Did
No,
you
I
did
didn't
you
get any
serve it
benefits.
for when Biden was giving out free medication? Did you go into the military because they were giving out free medication, free hormones?
Wait, before you continue on your questionnaire
I'm
of
asking
many
facts,
things,
bro. You're
can you
throwing
repeat the first part of it? Because I know I'm asking you to hang on, dude. I'm asking you to repeat what you were just saying because my phone switched in.
So you keep bringing up the fact that you served this great, by the way, Republican country, because if it was Democrat, we would still have slavery. This great Republican country,
Oh,
this
God, another
Republic
fucking idiot.
of America.
What's your point?
I'm an idiot because the Republicans
Yes.
freed the slaves.
You-
Okay, yeah, sure.
No, the slaves freed
Democrats
themselves.
created Jim
The
Crow
slaves
law.
freed themselves. The slaves
Oh
freed
yes,
themselves.
I remember the great.
And if you
Black
talk about
Brigade-
party names,
brigades
then
of
you
the
need
North.
to talk about, okay, this guy has no impulse control. If you talk about slavery and you talk about parties, you have to understand that there was a party switch with ideologies between the conservatives and the progressives. So the Democrats at the time were conservatives. Now Democrats are supposedly progressives, and I say that very loosely. Republicans at the time were progressives and now are conservatives. So you have to, if you're going to talk about that, you have to talk about that too.
So was there a party for the party switch? Did anyone come out and say, "Hey, this is what
Yes,
we're
he
doing"?
is mixing up the
We're
Dixiecrats
switching
with the
parties.
Democrats.
All of the Jim Crow type people are going to go to the Republicans, and all the
Yes.
Republican founding fathers ideologies are going to go to the Democrats. Okay.
Well, no,
so
the founding
why
fathers
still-
did not believe in progressive policies. They didn't even believe that slaves were
Oh,
people.
really? They didn't believe
No,
in
they didn't believe that slaves were people.
progressivism, getting away
They-
from the
they-
king,
they didn't.
thinking you
They
can
didn't-
self-govern yourself. Those are not
They
progressive
didn't
ideas.
believe that slaves were people.
That slaves were people.
Correct. They did not believe that slaves were people.
No, they didn't. They thought that people
Have you
could
ever
be
read the
owned.
Constitution?
There's a big difference. They thought that people could be property, not that they weren't anything. They knew that they were people.
So
How
why
could you look at another
weren't
person?
slaves allowed to vote?
Because their vote belonged to their owner.
Did it? So somebody who owned slaves got to vote for every single slave that they owned?
No, they got vote depending
Well, if
on
they
if
were
they're
considered-
property owners. First off, yeah, if they
So if
if
they
they
were
own
considered
property,
people, then
you had to own property to vote.
Then who took their vote?
See, this is besides the point of
I know
this
he is,
gentleman
David.
bringing up his service. We get back to the point like you tell everyone else all the time. I only watched you for like 30 minutes. Him bringing up his service over and over again. We got to get to the underlying cause of him deciding to go serve. Obviously, you don't like the country you live in. You're against the federal
I never
government
said that.
to the point where
I never said that.
Hold on. You don't like Trump, or you think he's an idiot.
I never said that.
I did.
This is what
I don't like
the
Trump.
issue
I think
is.
he's an idiot.
And guess what? That's
Okay,
your
my-
choice. That's what American politics is about. Is having
I was
that
getting
choice.
confused by the voices.
You can't possibly
Bro,
get confused by
bro,
the voices. If
that's-
people's
no,
voices
you're
confuse you,
ignorant.
then we have some other things that we need
I'm
to
not
worry
being
about for you.
mean. I'm joking. Don't get too
It's
mad.
not funny.
Okay.
We
It's
don't
not
know
funny.
you on that level, first off, and secondly, also you're conflating your ego by talking as well too, because you're saying things that you don't even know the truth. I do love this country because guess what? We have the choice to do things that most other countries don't have to do. And with the Republican Party being in where it's taking that choice away from so many things, like women when they need to actually have an abortion for a medical cause. It comes from like me also having rights systematically. Do you know that if I die in a Republican state that does not support gay legislation, basically all my money and my earnings, and by the way, I'm a business owner, if I die there, my partner gets none of that. You understand that, right?
Maybe you should set up a will. I mean, there's all this legal.
I have everything in line, but no. You're ignoring what I just told you. If I would die in a Republican state rather than a purple or blue state that actually understands that gay people are real people and they have the same rights as a white cis male that has a family, if I were to die, some of my stuff would not go to my partner, and that is the truth. So the fact that you're conflating,
are y'all legally married?
We are legally married. I got married so me and my partner, and this is also the day after my anniversary.
Tell me what state does not recognize gay marriage? Because if I remember correctly, it's a federal mandate.
Oh my God, a federal mandate, yes. What you are not understanding is that institutional. Excuse me.
Can you not go to and get legally married? That they have a different rule for you that you're marrying another guy.
I need you to stop talking in the middle of people's sentences, please. Go ahead.
So as I was saying before, thank you. As I was saying, so there are states such as Kentucky that don't recognize the marriage within a banking distribution of people. So when I'm saying that, you can effectively have a marriage that is legalized in another state or whatever, and it's fine, everything. But when you go into the banking institutional of groups, so like marriages is one of them, they can intentionally ignore a party affiliation within that marriage. So because of that, banks have done this in the past before. In California, they've done it in the past before when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was enacted and stuff like this. And it was even prior to that, in the 1970s, there were gay partners that could not get married, remind you, that were still together and then would leave stuff in the will. But guess what? They intentionally would ignore the will, and that money would go back to the family that that person was with, who that same family denied them being in cahoots, like not cahoots, denied them being who they are. You have to understand that. So, and it's still a problem to this day. When it comes to marriage rights and marriage equality and everything, there's still not marriage equality at the same level as a male and female marriage when it comes to like the stuff that comes after that. It's even with healthcare. My partner and I had to go through so many more hoops than traditionally a straight heteronormative relationship when it comes to healthcare, because there are some healthcare agencies that don't align with people being gay. Simply as that.
Okay. Can I talk now for a second? I really appreciate you opening up and telling us that in every other state in America other than Kentucky, you can live the life that you want to live. And before, back in the day, it was nowhere. So thankfully, it sounds like America has progressed to a point where almost every single state besides Kentucky, you can live your gay life how you want to. But you seem to nitpick on the past.
It's not just Kentucky, exactly. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could not interrupt each other. But every state other than Kentucky, you can live the life that you want to. And you want to nitpick, just like, I don't know, you're saying that there was a big switch. I really want to get back to that because that sounds really crazy. How many Democrats voted for the Civil Rights Act?
You can go look up the 3/5 compromise when we're talking about slavery.
How many Democrats?
If you think that you are just going to talk louder and talk over me, I'm going to fucking hang up on you. So
okay,
again, to to clarify, there are 10 states that have, just for adoption and foster care, that have different laws for same-sex couples. In October of 25, so just last year, not even a whole year ago, the Texas Supreme Court issued a clarifying rule that judges cannot be compelled to perform same-sex marriages if it conflicts with their sincerely held beliefs. So how is that marriage equality? It's not. Marriage equality doesn't exist. While it is a federal mandate, there's also other different, there's other laws in the state of Louisiana, for example. They pass a law that allows gestational surrogacy for couples only that don't need a donor egg or sperm. So if you're a same-sex couple, then there aren't surrogacy protections for you in the state of Louisiana. Nebraska voids surrogacy contracts outright. Like, there's so many different things that there are different rights for people who are in a same-sex marriage than there are for people who are in heterosexual relationships.
Okay, and can I say something on that, like, which is like the underlying reason for all of that is because we're all humans. In order for humanity to continue, we must reproduce. And there's some people out there
Gay
that think
people can
just because you
reproduce.
okay, if they buy an egg from someone, correct?
They don't have to buy an egg. Gay people can reproduce.
They can make their own egg.
No, they would have to use
From
a
what?
surrogate, or they would
Their
have to use a
stem
surrogate.
cells.
They would have to use a
Okay,
surrogate.
so they would have to get a woman
If
to
you're talking
agree
about men.
to sell. Huh?
If you're talking about men, yes.
Yeah, they have to buy an egg. Okay, so that doesn't
what is the
sound like
difference?
something.
So who cares?
That-
Heterosexual couples buy eggs all the time, and they buy sperm. So what is the difference?
Okay, well, we usually know that how that turns out. You know,
How's that? How does it turn out?
They grow up.
Right,
and
they
live
grow up.
a decent life.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
But
heterosexual couples
maybe-
also heterosexual couples also
I can't believe we're talking about
participate
this
in.
right now. We came here to talk about Donald Trump and all this, you know, and we're back to because there's a couple states.
He's getting on my fucking nerves.
He also doesn't want to analyze factual representation at all. So, like, when he was saying, like, you gave me one, he was only saying, oh, Kentucky only, because I only talked about Kentucky. I was giving an example of Kentucky. There are other states as well, too. Louisiana is a great one as well,
Hold on
too,
one
that
second.
doesn't recognize. Got you.
Hold on 1 second. Big W's in the chat too. I don't know if you want me to say your name out loud. So I'm just, you know what? I think it's okay. Big W's in the chat to Tiffany, who paid to kick the caller. Sorry, you got paid to kick, buddy. I can't let you back. They paid to kick you, friend. Big W's in the chat to Tiffany, who paid to kick the caller. Tiffany said, I'm tired of this. Can't repeat it. Piece of shit. So big W's to Tiffany. My grandmother keeps calling me and hanging up. She's letting it ring like once and hanging up. I don't know what she's doing. But go ahead, A.
I by the way, thank you, Tiffany, as well too. I cannot take any more of this guy, what he was saying, because he's trying to tell me as a gay man what rights and what not rights I have right now, just based off of one state that I brought as a representation. But that's exactly my point, was like what I was talking about. He only kept focusing on Kentucky when there are more states like Louisiana, like fucking South Carolina. North Carolina also has changed their disposition as well too. So when you guys want to like talk about every single state, I can provide that if I'm given the time allowed to talk about it. But you're not going to give me that time to actually talk about it because you don't want to have the conversation about it. And the fact that also you're trying to tell me that about what I deserve and my rights and that what are human rights, I think that's complete bullshit, because I should have the same rights as a straight cis white male and not have to go to jump through hoops to understand how my banking and how all my information, which is a lot harder as a gay man to get that legislated into what it needs to happen, like if I were to die. Because a will does not just submit that, oh, all my stuff goes to them. There's a lot more legality that has to go through there, because there are still representation that is still not met at the same as a straight heteronormative couple.
Right, and that's the issue. The equality doesn't exist. It truly doesn't exist.
I've never gotten heated on your chat before, so I apologize for raising my voice. But
Nah, you're good. He was insufferable.
I'm extremely tired of it. So, and he wants to talk about like, oh, well, you talk about you bringing in your service. I'm saying that because most people don't even join the service to begin with, and I didn't do it for a conflated ego. I'm not doing it because I want the betterment. Just to say that I was in the military, I want to do it because I want to make this country better as a whole. I want to show that there can be representation like me in the military and be amazing at what they do, because I've done that.
Right. Hey, just out of curiosity, I feel like we should do a poll just to find out what time you guys want us to do the podcast, so that you guys can be present. What do you think, Alex? Do you think we should do a poll? I can send it out in my broadcast channel on TikTok and on Instagram, so people can do a poll and tell us when they want us to go live. We're not live on Instagram right now, so I'll send out a poll, and we'll give you like 3 options, and then you guys tell us poll. I see you, Alex, and then we'll see when you guys want us to do it. This way, you guys can be present for the podcast, and then be able to call in and have your points heard on the podcast. So it is just about time for my hard stop, so I'm going to end it here today. There's 222 people over on TikTok and 179 people over on YouTube. But before we end it, I just want to remind you guys about boobs for ballots. So if you vote blue in the midterms and you go over to my Schmonly Schmans, yes, Alex. Oh, so you're telling everybody now. Okay, Alex is going to be on TMZ today. My co-host for the podcast is going to be on TMZ today. I want you guys all to head over to Santana Speaks and check out Santana Speaks. You can find him on YouTube and on TikTok. Make sure that you go over there. Tell him that Amanda said, "What's up?" Drop him a little raid. Make sure you drop him some super chats and all the fun stuff. We love Santana, who holds a wonderful space and makes sure that marginalized voices are also heard. And so we appreciate that. Everybody head on over there. Now I'm going to watch y'all leave. I'm going to stare at you awkwardly until you go. Just kidding. I have ADHD. I don't have the patience for that shit. Hey, I'm going to drop you down for the algo. I'll be back later live tonight. Thank you for being here, honey. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. I will be live again this evening in 12 hours from now. So if you like this space and you want to see more of it, come back and join us at 11 p.m. Eastern this evening. I will be live again. We'll get a whole new crowd of spicy idiots to have conversations with. 12 hours from now, I will be back. We'll have a little bit more fun because we poke smart and do the things. It is my favorite pastime to poke smart and be elevated as fuck and cook MAGA over the phone. It's my favorite thing. No on YouTube said, "Let me smell you." What the fuck? That is so weird. Everybody head on over to Santana Speaks. Check out Santana. Love you guys. Everybody be good. If you can't be good, be gay and do crimes. YouTube, hold tight. Love you, mean it. Bye. All right, YouTube, you little weirdos. Some of y'all say the strangest shit. Some of y'all really say the strangest shit. You're 40 years old, so am I. Why didn't you tell me you couldn't see anything? Why didn't you tell me you were just looking at a blank screen? There you go. Now you can see me. All right, everybody be good. If you can't be good, be gay and do crimes. Make sure you drop a sub. This is your last second to drop a sub. We're trying to get to 3K subs. We are almost there. I would appreciate you guys contributing to that. And then come back and see me at 11 p.m. Eastern time. All right? I'll see you little fuckers later. Bye.